Next up, we have Western writers. It feels like you're just now coming out of something and you are not quite sure what to do next with it, but I'm going to advise you just to make sure that you have your grounding set so that you know when the next thing comes up, you kind of know how to gauge it. And this is kind of how I got there. Now, before we get started, I do want to let you know that somewhere in this video, I'm giving you a promo code for 75% off of a tarot reading. There's only 15 spots. So once those 15 spots are done, it's done for the month. And then we'll do it again in October. Be sure that you watch to the end. Most importantly, your first card fell out of the deck while I was shuffling. It's the Three of Swords and it's in reverse. The Three of Swords is usually about a heartache, and when it's in reverse, it's more about healing that heartache. So that's how I'm kind of getting that you have come out of something just now and you're not quite sure where to go with it next. Here you have the Eight of Pentacles. I like to think of this as a perfected skill or perfection in general. The Four of Wands is a planned celebration. It is on the outside. I'm surprised it's not on the inside like a reversed card, but maybe there is something you can do to celebrate with your friends with how far you've come, maybe with what you've been able to get out of from this emotional experience that you've been going through with your heartache. We've got the Three of Wands. This usually means things are starting to roll. Things are actually coming along. The Two of Wands is seeing a open field and seeing what you can do and build with it. The Three of Wands is actually seeing some of that come to fruition. And I kind of think it's probably more because of this Three of Swords being in reverse. You kind of feel like you are able to make some moves again now that you've been healing from some of that stuff. Here you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about tradition. He's usually a teacher. He could be a religious leader. It could even be you being a teacher or a religious leader. However, it is the card in the center of all of the cards, and it's the only major arcana that you've got. So I feel like with whatever you're feeling with this Three of Swords in reverse and how it's healing, I think that you've probably come up with some ground, you need to come up with some grounding and traditional stuff in order to move on to the next thing, like I've said before. And you've also been able to kind of find some perfection within all of this situation. You do have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Aces usually mean a new journey. Aces in reverse usually mean a no. And the Ace of Swords is about thoughts and communication. So whatever you've been thinking about, you probably, I would stay right where you're at. Do not drift from whatever you've been thinking of. Do not think that don't double back on yourself. Don't think that you're doing something wrong. Just stay on the path that you're on right now, and I think everything's going to be fine. But don't drift from wherever you're going at this point in time. Don't change course. Here you've got the Two of Pentacles in reverse, which I wrote unbalanced down, and I kind of feel like that has to do with some of this healing that you're doing. It just kind of feels like you probably aren't sure what to do next, and again, that's where your traditions are going to come into, and that's also where your perfection. You need to remember where that's going to come into play. In addition, you also have the King of Pentacles. This king is the slowest king of the entire deck. He's also the safest king in the entire deck. I don't know that you feel completely safe right now. I want you to embrace him a little bit more. This king is not a risk taker. He knows where his money is going. He's very comfortable with what he's built, and he is just very comfortable with his surroundings. So because of all these other cards that are around here, I do feel like you're not quite there yet, but I think that you need to embrace a little bit more of that. Here you've got the Two of Cups. So you might be able to meet someone new, a new friend, a new colleague, maybe go on a date or two. I don't know. I don't know. Because it's this Three of Swords and it's a heartache, I probably wouldn't go on a date, but at least meet some new friends, go to an activity that you like, go do something to where you can meet new people. I wouldn't say look for an actual partner per se, but just meet someone new and just experience what it's like to meet someone new for the first time again, whether that's romantic or friendship or business or however you want to say that. Here we have the Two of Wands in reverse. It is the card at the bottom of the deck. You had probably had this big picture, and now that you've had a heartbreak, you're kind of like picking yourself back up again, and you're not quite sure what to do with that field or what your world is going to look like in the future because it's probably been uprooted. So I think that right now, just embrace more of the King of Pentacles, take things slow, get some more of your traditions, understand what those are, uh, have the Eight of Pentacles. It's a perfected skill. I just like embrace that, like, don't change aspect of yourself. Numbers you probably want to pay attention to are 3, 8, 4, 3, 5, 1, 2, 4, 2, 2. Now, before I go on into getting more of the numbers, I do want to let you know that a lot of these numbers were low. I know the 8 was a little high. The 4 is a little high for the king, just because it is the hierarchy, but everything else seems a little low. Understand that you are kind of starting over. These are beginnings of a new cycle. Do not be afraid to start over. You are okay. You are doing perfectly fine. You've learned, you've experienced something, and now you can go into the next cycle and build off of that. So going back to the numbers, if you add those up, you get 34. 3 plus 4 equals 7, and 7 in the major arcana is the chariot. Now, the chariot means you have ultimate control. It's usually a picture of a guy driving a chariot with 2 horses or 2 dragons or 2 beasts that are pulling that cart. Those beasts, they're going to go any which way they want to go. They don't really care. But you have the reins. You are the driver. So if they decide to go left, you can pull them and you can tell them, no, we're going this direction. You need to remember that you have more control than you think you do, especially with regards to this project and whatever you've been working on. Elementally wise, we have earth, air, fire, and water. Earth is actually your strongest element, and I'm actually going to tell you to pay attention to it because the Hierophant was the only major arcana card that came out. He is also associated with Earth. So you're probably going to want to pay attention to Taurus and Venus. Now, water is also your weakest element. Water is the emotional element. And so I'm going to also advise you to pay attention to the water signs, the water astrological signs. That is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Pay attention to those attributes and try to incorporate them a little bit more into your healing journey with whatever you're healing from regarding this project. Colors that you probably want to pay attention to are silver and red orange. Now, I do also pull 3 extra cards. You got Beaver. You also have Dream. Now, I think this actually helps and works with you a little bit because you did get the 2 of Wands reversed. I know that the dream that you had previously was probably shattered or broken. What's the new dream going forward? And I want you to kind of journal about that and see what that new dream is. Lastly, we have what is a seemingly innocuous thing that a person could do that would drive your protagonist crazy. The promo code for September of 24 is King of Pentacles, all one word, KINGOFPENTACLES. Remember that there are only 15 spots, so go get yours as soon as you're done watching this video. So hi, I'm Chris, and I help screenwriters and authors complete 3 to 8 projects in less than a year using tarot cards. If you would like to discover more about what tarot cards can do for your project and get more in tune with your intuition and your creativity, I have a lot of options for you, and I know this is probably going to be overwhelming, but just hear me out. The first thing I'm going to tell you to do is to go to the link in my profile. And in that link, you're going to see a button that will lead you to a free 15-minute exercise. In that exercise, I'm going to guide you on how to write a complete story, a beginning, a middle, and an end using tarot cards. Number 2, I'm actually going to invite you to come join the Flow Your Mojo community on my website. There are 4 tiers in that community. In the first tier, I'm going to provide 2 writing prompts per week. The first prompt is what energies to pay attention to for the week for your project. The second, we're actually going through the Save the Cat beat sheet and doing it as a plotter, which is very interesting because I'm more of a pantser and we're just writing a story based on that beat sheet, pulling tarot cards. The second tier, you're actually going to get all of that, plus you have access to 3 write-ins a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 4 to 6, we just write. We are meeting together as a group and just holding each other accountable. The third tier, Act 3A, is the writer's group. Here, we're going to meet 2 times a month, and we're going to trade notes back and forth on our projects. Act 3B, those are for the outline haters. If you do not like outlining at all, I am going to provide you with 30 to 45 spreads of an entire story, and you get to do whatever you want with them. 3-dimensional characters, you'll have 3-dimensional scenes, you'll have a beginning, a middle, and an end. You'll have problems that you can solve. You'll know how to solve them and how people get unalived, all that kind of stuff. You will have all of that sent to your inbox, and you can do with it what you will. So if you've made it this far in the video, I'd like to thank you for your time. Please like, subscribe, follow, and share, and I will see you in the next one.